Welcome to episode 14 of The Box, everybody. Real quick before we get into the episode, I do want to say if you're a YouTube viewer, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and go over to the audio platforms, Apple and Spotify. Pre-download the episodes and give us a 5-star rating. And if you listen primarily on those audio platforms, make sure you're giving us those 5-star ratings. And come over to the YouTube, subscribe and like the videos. Anyway, without further ado, episode 14, let's get into it, my boy.
It's underway.
Elephant in the room for the YouTube viewers and probably the audio listeners too. The audio might be a little bit different. We're outside. We're chilling.
Outside.
We're at my mom's crib and
It's very nice.
got a nice deck out here.
Like 80, I passed like 85 degrees, a little bit windy.
85 degrees, a little windy.
Very
We got a
nice.
fan going.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice day outside. We just got done watching Game 7 of the Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors.
And I won my $30, baby.
Yes, sir, he did.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of disappointed because I needed that $30, but it's cool because it somewhat went to something for the podcast anyway.
A little bit of content.
A little bit. So, but
That's cool.
it's cool, bro.
I'm excited for the next round, though. There's a bunch of matchups.
Yeah.
That are fucking crazy.
You do wanna-
We also went through and watched Miami versus Knicks game 1.
Yeah, I say before we get into the next round, we should dissect a little bit, get into those games, have some
Yeah.
dialogue there.
For sure.
So let's start with the first game of today, because we are recording on Sunday.
Cool.
What were your thoughts as far as, like, I know we didn't see maybe the entire game, but I saw the entire
like,
game, but
I saw the ending. Well, like the second,
the majority.
the second half of it.
Based off of game 1, I think we both
Jimmy
have the
was
same
going
opinion.
crazy, and then he rolled his ankle. He said.
He said he's fine.
I think he's gonna be fine. I really liked how Kyle Lowry though took over the game with a bunch of hustle plays,
When
a bunch
absolutely
of smart
necessary,
plays.
bro.
Yeah, he actually kind of put the team on his back when Jimmy Butler
That's what he does.
needed him to, bro. And they secured game 1, and I honestly think that honestly almost not sealed up the series, but
Wow, really?
it's gonna be tough for the Knicks to come back, bro.
You think
I don't
so?
see the Knicks. I don't see the Knicks beating them, bro.
They
I
could
really
win game
don't.
2, though.
They could,
And
which
then
is,
that puts them in a 1-1 situation going back.
going back
to
to Miami. I don't think they're winning in Miami.
Yeah,
bro.
you do make a good point. You do make a good
I
point.
think it's gonna be 3-1 going back to the Knicks, and then they might win a game there. But I think they'll end it in 6, to be honest. Pretty convincingly too.
I just think the
you know.
Miami Heat have the better overall roster. This is a series that Chaz and I agree on.
Yeah, for sure.
They just have a better overall roster, and I think even though these are both extremely well-coached teams with Tom Thibodeau and Eric Spoelstra, I think that star power is still extremely important in a playoff series, especially in a 7-game playoff series, which I anticipate this series will be. The Miami Heat just have more star power, man. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, even on given nights, and then those role players that they have. And this is nothing to discredit the Heat, to discredit the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal. Julius Randle's been phenomenal. Their supporting cast has been amazing. The defense,
Yeah,
the
they've been
offensive
really good.
rebounding, the effort, the loose balls. It's been great to watch. But I think Miami does all the things that the New York Knicks do well at a better rate.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that Miami overall wins this series just based off of being a really good matchup for them. Just matchup-wise, I don't think it's a good series for the Knicks.
I agree.
I think that Cavs series was perfect for them, which is why they won it so convincingly.
100%.
But yeah, I think the Miami Heat series is going to be one of the best series.
Really?
I think it's going to be a 7-game series. And
Okay.
maybe I'm wrong because game 1 was what it was, but it was a close game nonetheless. So even if it's a 5-game series, it's going to be 5 tight-knit games. So it's not going to feel like a blowout every game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So I think there'll be good basketball games just because there's a bunch of effort from both teams being put in every single play. Because there's players like Josh Hart, Caleb Martin, Obi Toppin, like players that just got to go out there and get their, earn their minutes through those effort plays.
don't
Emmanuel
know,
quickly, I named more Knick players than Miami Heat players, but I mean, everybody knows about the Miami Heat and what their culture is.
Exactly.
So
The other game that we watched.
you got the Heat in 6 real quick just to lock it in?
100%.
Okay, I got Heat in 7.
Cool. So we both got the Heat moving on. We also just watched the Warriors play in Game 7 against the Kings in Sacramento.
In Sacramento.
For those of you that don't know, we bet on it $30. I had the Warriors. He had Sacramento.
and here's
I
the
was
thing,
pretty
man.
nervous at the beginning of this game just because of the whole light the beam momentum and stuff,
Yeah, playing at
I
home,
thought-
man. A game 7 on the road for no matter who you are.
I thought I was
A
kind of
hard
nervous.
win.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was too, just because I have 30
but
bucks on it.
You were right, bro. You called it. We were watching it. And he literally said third quarter, like they're gonna come out third quarter and maybe steal it.
That's what the Warriors do, man.
And that's exactly what they did. Steph dropped 50 on them.
You got to contain an all-time playoff record,
All-time
most points
playoff.
ever scored by an individual player in a Game 7.
Which is a crazy record.
Shout out to
bro.
Steph. That's an amazing record to have.
Yeah, good for him, bro.
Especially for someone who's battled playoff woes. We got into that episode. We got into that last episode, so I'm not gonna.
And dare I say it, the Warriors are back.
I don't know. I mean, the biggest issue with them this whole year has been their road struggles, and they just won two road games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think you're right, bro. And I hate it because I put $30 on the Sacramento Kings, but I agreed with you even when you said it, that championship pedigree, championship experience is extremely important in a playoff series.
Definitely a thing, bro.
And now my Lakers, which we'll get into in a little bit before we get off of the Warriors, we got to deal with them.
Exactly.
And I would have much rather had to deal with the Kings.
Yeah, I would. If I was a Laker fan, I would rather see the Kings too, for sure.
It's just an easier
They're just
matchup.
a younger team, not as experienced. You know what I mean?
And
not as, honestly, they're not as scary. I mean, they are.
They're a scary team in transition.
De'Aaron Fox is really good. He's really quick. No one can stay in front of him. But I mean, as far as putting up points, there's no one I would rather have on my team for as far as putting up points than Steph and Clay. They can put up points like crazy, bro.
Did you just take Curry over Kyrie? Sorry, I don't mean to do that to you, but I do.
In this one scenario, yeah.
In this one scenario? In what scenario? The NBA playoffs?
No, in this one scenario of scoring points.
Okay. Well,
in a fast-paced manner.
I don't want to make this about Kyrie yet, but
because Curry's the best shooter of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's hands down.
I think going into going back into the Warriors Kings series, I think the main thing that the Kings need to focus on in the offseason is one, retaining their team. I don't know what their contract situation is looking like in Sacramento. I don't pay attention to that. I should, because we cover it so heavily.
True.
But I think the main thing that they should focus on is the development of Domantas Sabonis. And I know he's not a young player anymore. We don't need to develop him. But I think the main thing that kind of where they struggled at was outside of Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, outside of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, when you give that ball into Domantas Sabonis in the paint, he doesn't have a very large skill set. And that's not to say he's not a talented offensive player. He definitely is. He averaged 19 points per game on the series. I'm pretty sure like that. Something like solid. That. He's a great offensive player. His playmaking is great. Defensively, he's pretty solid. But we need him. If you're a Kings fan, not speaking as a Kings fan, but if you are a Kings fan and if you're the Sacramento Kings head office, you need him to develop more of a post game, because he is as big as he is and as much of a presence as he has down in that painted area. You got to have him be able to do some spin moves, some post hooks, some fades.
Yeah,
and that's it's his breed of player, and it's just something I noticed throughout the whole series is he lacks it.
Leaving him open.
He puts that shoulder down too, and seeing someone be left open from the mid range, that's ridiculous.
Kind of disrespectful.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I understand it defensively from the Warriors. You would rather have someone be able to guard Malik Monk coming off of a screen or De'Aaron Fox going into the paint rather than a corner or an elbow jump shot from Domantas Sabonis.
That's true.
I get it. But he needs to develop a little bit more, or they need to look at potentially moving him for someone who can score a little bit more, someone who's a little bit more capable on the offensive side of the ball. Or at least add
because De'Aaron Fox is that guy.
Absolutely. And I think this team has such a high ceiling, and this is only a glimpse of what they can be.
And I really like Malik Monk with him too.
Me too. I wish we kept him. And I guess that's a decent transition if you want to get into the Grizzlies series, Lakers-Grizzlies.
What do you mean?
Do you want to get into the Lakers-Grizzlies series is what I'm asking you.
Sure.
Okay.
Lakers absolutely killed the Grizzlies in Game 7.
Shout out to the Grizzlies, though, because I thought it was going to be a 5-game series. After us going up 3-1.
I knew it was going to be a tough series for him, for sure.
I think that's the toughest defensive matchup that we'll face in the Western Conference, but as far as offensively, we're about to face our biggest test so far.
Yeah.
The Warriors 100%. Are going to be a pain in the ass. But I don't want to jump too far ahead here. The Lakers-Grizzlies series was extremely entertaining, and it's because of one man, Dylan Brooks. He put a magnifying glass.
I was talking a bunch of shit on it, and then...
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't think the series stakes would have been as high if Dylan Brooks didn't open his mouth. And I'm not even saying it was entertaining because he played well, because he didn't. It was entertaining because he talked so much shit, so it put a magnifying glass on every single jump shot he took, and he didn't make many.
And then lost by 40.
Yeah, he said, I don't respect nobody till they come and give me 40. And then Braun gave him a 20-20 game. That's 40 right there. And then the last game, we eliminated them by 40 points. So there's 40, Dylan. And
you think Dylan's going to resign?
I think there's a 0% chance that Dylan Brooks remains in Memphis after this season.
Damn.
Absolutely 0% chance. Here's the reason why. He doesn't give you, like, I'm pretty sure the head office is thinking the same thing that the players are thinking, which is you just talked a bunch of shit and then made everybody else on the team have to back it up for you.
Yep.
Because he wasn't hitting his shots, and that's what you need to do. He wasn't even defending as well as he's used to.
Players in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year.
And that would have literally been fine if he didn't talk shit, because no one's looking at Dylan Brooks to be one of the best players in this playoffs.
Yeah, until he opens his mouth.
Then he opened his mouth. So I think it does definitely put, like I said earlier, a magnifying glass from the front office of the Minnesota, bro. Why do I keep Memphis Grizzlies looking at Dylan Brooks this offseason? Because who knows what type of money he wants anyway. And whatever he wants, he's probably not worth it from their perspective. I'm sure there is a team out there that will gladly take him. Probably like the Thunder or some shit.
I think so. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the Celtics. I could see him in the green. It just kind of sounds right, honestly. But
who knows?
I thought that was a good series, especially for the first round and with all the drama and shit around it. Great overall series.
Yeah.
Don't think I'd be saying that if the Grizzlies won. Probably. Well, I probably still would.
So next series that we have to predict, we'll stay in the East because we already did the Heat and the Knicks. 76ers and the Celtics.
So we're starting our predictions.
Well, we started already with the 76 or with the Heat and the Knicks.
I guess so, yeah.
So we might as well just get into it already.
So what do you think? I mean, I kind of know what you think, but I want you to reiterate it for me.
I got the 76ers for sure.
Even though Joel Embiid is doubtful for game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they might lose game 1, but I feel like they'll take game 2. And I mean, if you've looked at it, the 76ers kind of struggle with them this season, I think. So
the 76ers struggle with the Celtics?
Yeah. Or the
vice versa.
The Celtics struggled with the 76ers.
Historically, however.
Yeah, that's true. But Joel's been a beast, and I think it's Joel's year. Yeah, give me the 76ers in 7.
See, on this one, and I agree with you on one thing that you said. It's going to be a 7-game series. But give me the Celtics, and here's the reason why.
Wow.
I think that they're remaining in the Eastern Conference the best team that we have left. And I don't want to curse this team because just last Sunday I said that I think the Bucks have the highest chance to win the championship. And then literally 2 games go by and they're eliminated from the first round in 5 games.
5 games.
I said that when it was 2-1. I thought they still had a chance. But that's what, you know what? That's the fun part about doing this,
Jimmy
bro.
Buckets, baby.
That's the best part about podcasting is you'll say some shit and you will be wrong. It's better
so
when
we
you're
had
right,
a rule. I mean. So you said what? Celtics in 7?
Celtics in 7.
Cool. So we have one that we agree on and one that we disagree on.
Yeah.
Next one is the Nuggets versus the Suns. We kind of already saw game 1 and how the Suns kind of shit the bed.
And I don't expect them to shit the bed multiple games in a row. I think it's going to be another 7-game series, maybe 6.
I do too. But if it's 7 games, then I'm probably going to take the home team here. So I'll probably go with the Nuggets.
I agree with you on that one. The Nuggets series, it just, and I kind of said it before when we were talking a little bit before the episode, but the Suns team just hasn't played enough basketball to convince me that they can win a championship together. And 100%. I know that they just had a finals run a couple of years ago with basically the same core that they have now, except you take Mikal Bridges out and replace it with Kevin Durant.
And Cam Johnson.
But if you put Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges together, you still don't got Kevin Durant. So they're a better team than they were when they made the finals a couple of years ago. But that being said, this team has played, at this point, maybe 13 games together total?
Yep.
So is that enough?
A good thing, though, for him is I think Cameron Payne is coming back soon. Or
he doesn't really even hoop like that, bro.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's barely rotational.
I feel like he's good for Chris Paul to not have average fucking 30, 40 minutes a game, bro. For sure. You need to lessen Chris Paul's amount of action, you know?
I don't disagree
He's
with
getting
you.
too old.
But I don't think campaign changes my outlook on the series very much.
I don't either. I was just saying.
But I'm gonna agree with you on that. Probably Denver in 7, maybe 6. And I don't like Denver, but the Phoenix team just hasn't done enough to convince me that they're a legitimate championship contender yet. Roster-wise, on paper, absolutely. But the eye test just doesn't show it to me yet. And Devin Booker is having so far the best playoffs of his career.
He's going crazy. He's going insane.
I don't think Devin Booker doing all that is just enough. I just got to see more. And I'm not saying that they couldn't get it together because it's kind of like the Warriors. Every single game they play, they get better.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Suns, same case. Lakers, even same case, because it's all kind of a similar. Well, the Warriors isn't a similar situation. They just needed to. Well, you know what? A little bit because they've had guys coming in and off of injury, so it's kind of the same situation where they're kind of reintegrating things into their offense, and every game they play is another game where they get better, more experience, more chemistry.
Yeah.
So
for sure, I agree.
I definitely think that those 3 teams specifically in the West are teams that you want to knock out as quick as possible.
I agree.
Bias aside from my Lakers shit, but if I'm the Golden State Warriors, you want to take both games at home and 1 on the road at least if you want to beat us.
Both games at home?
Yeah, Warriors got the home court advantage in the series because we're the 7th seed.
Oh, yeah. They need to get both games at home.
They need to get both at home.
So, what do you have? Who do you have for that?
Series are we talking about again?
The Warriors and the Lakers.
we were not talking about that one.
Well, we were talking about the Nuggets and Suns. But
oh, yeah. Okay.
Know.
Got you. So for the Warriors and Lakers, you know me, boy. I'm going to have to pick the Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6.
Yeah. Lakers in 6.
Oof.
I just burped into the mic. I'm going to be mad at myself when I edit.
This is a tough one. I honestly don't know who I have here.
Let's break it down. Starting lineup matchups. D'Angelo Russell, Stephen Curry. Who's eating? You know damn well Steph is eating. D'Lo might get his too, though, with that matchup. But here's the thing. Klay Thompson is probably going to be the one guarding D'Lo.
Yeah.
So, who's our shooting guard even? Austin Reeves. I don't know, man. Klay might be on him too.
Yeah.
Damn. This series is going to be so good. Already even looking at the backcourt matchup, bro.
Yeah.
Small forward. Andrew Wiggins. LeBron James. Is that our small forward?
Yeah.
Power forward. Jared Vanderbilt. Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this series is fun. Center. Oh, Looney boy. We eating AD. Kevin Looney. That's definitely our...
bro. This is tough.
This is going to be an even fuck... I might have to say Lakers in 7. No, I'm staying with 6. Lakers in 6.
I'm going to go...
It's going to be a great series.
I think I'm going to go the Lakers too.
Yes, sir. Come on over. Welcome to the
but
purple and gold.
I want the Warriors to win, but I think...
You don't want the Lakers to win?
But I think the Lakers are going to win.
Wait, hold on. You don't want me to be happy?
No.
You don't want me to experience joy?
I want Steph to win another chip.
It's just you being upset because your team ain't in the playoffs, bro. That's what that is.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the Lakers are going to win in 7, but I want the Warriors to win in 7. There you go.
Okay. Are we missing a series?
Nope, that's all of them.
Got the Lakers series, the Nuggets series, 76ers series, and the Heat series. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Those are our predictions, and I think we're pretty accurate.
In other news,
Nate Diaz and Jake Paul.
No? Let's stay on this clip. This basketball shit.
This basketball vibe. And just for the record, if you're not a fan of basketball, bro, I'm sorry. But until the playoffs are over, every episode is going to be predominantly basketball.
Until the playoffs are done.
But once we get to the end of June, the episodes are going to be fire for you non-basketball fans because we will have almost nothing to talk about until the draft and free agency.
Yeah, we'll just start getting creative and stuff on our episodes.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of random bullshit. Probably going to talk about AI every episode. And I'm not talking Allen Iverson. Keep going.
But sticking on this basketball thing, we're talking about
moving to the Clippers.
A couple teams that we're talking about a couple teams that were bounced. And
I say let's start
I
with the
thought it was-
Bucks. Fuck the Clippers. Let's start with the Bucks,
Well,
bro.
okay, but I was thinking about the teams that have got bounced and like a couple of upsets that have happened throughout the playoffs.
The biggest
And
one.
let's just blare out a couple of teams that have disappointed us. You know what I mean?
Disappointed?
So far this season.
The Milwaukee Bucks, but everybody knows that.
Obviously, you said Milwaukee.
The Clippers, I don't think disappointed me,
I do, because the first couple games
but I'm a hater.
they look so good, bro. And then
I'm a hater. And it's
don't
not
know,
even their
just
fault, bro.
changed.
It's not a disappointment. I mean, I guess you can call it a disappointment, but really what it was is it's the injuries.
I know, but at this point, you can't even rely on them.
To play basketball? Yeah, I know. But the thing is you can't even make the trades, right? Because I know a lot of people are talking about, and I'm glad you actually wanted to get into the Clippers first, because I do have something to say, but I'll get into that after we're done going into their offseason woes. A lot of people are saying, hey, we got to trade, or the Clippers need to trade Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. That needs to be done, right?
No one's gonna want that though.
Well, no.
one's
Hold
gonna
on,
want
though.
the contract.
Well, first of all,
Kawhi.
I want to hear your opinion on it. Do you think that the Clippers need to trade Kawhi and Paul George?
No, I personally think they need to run it back.
I agree with you. But a lot of people are saying, and understandably so, are saying it because it's been so far a failure of an experiment. They have not even, they reached one conference finals. Other than that, they have been bounced first round or second round every year together. They've done virtually nothing. Meanwhile, never mind. I'm not going to even talk my shit. So people are saying, understandably so, that Kawhi and PG should be traded. This experiment was a failure. Let's move on from it.
I do think it's been a failure though, but
I
I
agree.
think that they need to run it back just because nobody's gonna want their contract in theory, because they can't trust Kawhi and Paul George to go out and win on basketball games.
Well, here's the issue, is that the Clippers right now operate out of the Crypto.com arena, which is formerly known as Staples Center, which is the Lakers arena. When we're not there, they are. They are getting their own arena, not this upcoming season, but the next following season. They will be moving into their own arena.
So what?
Those seats need to be filled. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And those seats aren't going to get filled if it's a rebuilding, tanking team. So meaning they're going to keep, no matter what, if they need to or not, they're going to keep Kawhi and Paul George because they got to put butts in those seats. They got 1,400 toilets in that arena, and those toilets have got to be shit upon.
But you think a load managing Kawhi and hurt Paul George
it'll
will
bring
fill
in
seats?
It'll bring in more seats than fucking what? Who?
Why can't you just trade and get something back?
Like what?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what's out there, bro.
The
I'm not a
value
GM.
for Kawhi and Paul George right now, and I would
probably
say that
pretty
the
low.
value is still high. No, value is definitely high.
Well, it's definitely high, but it's pretty low for.
It's the lowest that it's ever been, I would say, but it's still,
That's what I mean.
you're still trading for Kawhi or Paul George, or possibly both,
yeah,
depending on who you are, what team you have, what assets you have.
yeah.
But I don't think it's a realistic conversation that the Clippers actually do trade just because of their franchise situation. But that
Agree.
being said, I do think that the Clippers season was a little bit of a disappointment just because the only thing that we really want to see, even being a Clippers hater, is that team healthy. Because we just don't know what they can do. They haven't lost a series yet with Kawhi and Paul George healthy. Not
That's
one
true.
series have they lost with them
That's
both on the
true.
court. So what can that team really do? We don't even know because they don't play fucking basketball. So if we
'Cause
can
they
get
can't.
1 year, and I think that's what the front office is banking on. If we can get 1 year of them being healthy, we'll probably win a championship. And they're probably right.
I agree.
But it's a matter of, will it even
Can
happen?
they be healthy?
Because the load management isn't
Which I'm
even
gonna say
working.
no.
And we have Paul George going on record publicly saying that load management is causing him to get injured more. So what are we doing? As if you're the Clippers, what are you doing realistically? What's going on?
Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of forget the other team that you mentioned.
Bucks.
The Bucks.
The Milwaukee
Yeah,
Bucks.
definitely disappointing season. Number 1 seed losing to the Heat. I don't know, bro. I feel like Jimmy Butler was just eating the whole time, and they never really try to do anything different. They just try to.
They did exactly the Heat what they were supposed to do, which was capitalize on an injured Bucks team because Giannis was out for 1 game, 2 games, and wasn't 100% when he did return. So
Wow.
they smelled blood in the water and they attacked on it.
Feasted.
And I think that's exactly what you're supposed to do in the playoffs.
Good for them.
And even though I'm a secondary Bulls fan, which isn't something I talk about on the podcast very much, pretty much because we're in the playoffs now and the Bulls haven't been good or relevant to that conversation. But I'm so glad that the Heat won that play-in game versus the Bulls, because the Bulls would not have put up that fight.
Yeah.
There's no way we would have.
100%.
So
the Heat, the Bulls would definitely
that
want
would
to
have been
series.
a 4-game, 5-game series. Bucks would have been moving on.
Even without Giannis, yeah.
Yeah. So that made it a lot more interesting for sure.
For sure.
But shout out to the Heat, man. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. I saw on Twitter today, my boy Ethan, shout out to Ethan. He said, is Jimmy Butler higher all time on y'all's list than Derrick Rose? And as an all-time Derrick Rose fan, yes, absolutely. Jimmy Butler is just the more complete, better overall, more playoff moments, more moments in general. He's a better player. And that's not saying that Derrick Rose couldn't have been a better player had the injuries not done what they did to his career. But yeah, Jimmy Butler's the better player.
I'd have to agree for sure.
I think that's fair.
Me too.
And I think it's been that way for quite a while. Do we have any more basketball to get into?
I don't think so.
I don't know if I'll check the little thingy a little bit. If not, I say we stay in the sports leagues world of things. I know you wanted to give your oh yeah, my Clippers piece real quick. Stephen A. Smith said, and a couple of other people have said it as well. I think Mad Dog said it. And I don't want to stay on this for too long because it's already been responded to and ranted upon by a bunch of different people. Stephen A. Smith said that Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers should force Kawhi Leonard to retire because of his injuries.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
And you sent that to me. And first response to it before I saw anybody react to it was, I don't like that take.
I hate that take.
It's not Kawhi's fault that he's getting injured. You could argue it's the Clippers medical staff fault before it's Kawhi's. And I just think that's a ridiculous take to make, because it's clear that Stephen A. Smith himself has never actually sustained some type of injury that's prevented him.
Serious injury, yeah, like that.
He's never sustained an injury that's prevented him from doing what he loves to do. So he doesn't know what it feels like to have to overcome that mental battle. And I know he hooped back in the day, but never for anything that mattered. Neither did I.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
But at least I can sit here and empathize with an athlete who isn't able to do the one thing that they love doing.
Yeah.
So
facts.
Fuck out of here with that shit.
That's a good take.
And you wanted to give some props to Kyle Lowry. I don't know.
I already did.
I don't know if you're. Oh yeah, you did give your props to Kyle Lowry. I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He took over that series. Yeah.
Move on to some football real quick, if you don't mind.
Or that game.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
I'll let you announce
Aaron Rodgers, big signing with the Jets.
Not a signing. It's a trade.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I got you. I'll read the trade off for you. Aaron Rodgers was traded to the Jets on Monday. He was traded for basically a shit ton of draft compensation.
Yep.
So Aaron Rodgers and a 2023 first round pick and a 2023 fifth round pick to the Jets for New York's 2023 first round pick, number 13, a 2023 second round pick, number 42, a 2023 sixth round pick, number 207. Crazy that there's that many picks in the draft, but it makes sense. The rosters are big. And a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first if Rodgers plays 65% of this season, which my guess, assuming that he's healthy and plays at the rate that he's been playing his entire career, he will play. So the Packers, for an aging quarterback who is at the tail end of his career, got a fucking haul. They got a future just handed to him. Assuming that they draft well, they got a haul.
Yeah, I like the move but for both sides. Because I think it makes the Jets I don't know about a contender necessarily.
What are their options? Who's his options as far as his receivers and his running back? Who do they have?
Well, they have Bryce Hall. He's a good running back.
Bryce Hall?
Yeah.
Isn't that a TikToker?
Yeah.
Does he play football?
Different Bryce Hall.
Different Bryce Hall. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
And then I know they have one good wide receiver. I forgot his name, but he's good. They just have a really good defense as well, bro. Like, they're a really solid team. They're scary.
So where do you rank them in their division?
Well, they got Buffalo and they got the Patriots. I definitely got them above the Patriots.
Yeah, they're definitely better than New England.
And I definitely got them above Buffalo.
You think they're better than
And
Buffalo?
I think they have.
You don't think
the
Buffalo has
Dolphins.
a?
I think they have the Dolphins in their division. I don't know if they're better than the Dolphins.
How are the Dolphins possibly in the same division as the New York Jets? Just geographically, that makes no sense.
I don't know, bro. I might be wrong.
You got to be wrong.
I'm trying to think, but I'm pretty sure they are.
My
I'm pretty
opinion
sure
on
they
it
are.
is that for me, just as someone who, and I'm a very, very mid-casual as possible football fan, it doesn't move the needle for me. I don't think that the Jets get that much better. I think the Green Bay
Really?
Packers, assuming they draft well, are the overall victor in the trade. Because I don't think the Jets win a Super Bowl. And that's the goal with trading that much future draft compensation and acquiring a aging superstar quarterback. I think I
feel
just
like
don't think they
that
win.
they're gonna be like the Bucks or the Rams winning a quarterback.
Yeah, and
know
they're
what I mean?
not, bro, because they don't have Tom Brady. They have Aaron Rodgers, which is like a B grade.
I mean, he's good, but
He's not
yeah,
him. And they're not beating the Chiefs.
They're not beating the Chiefs.
They're not beating
Buffalo.
they're not you just said they were.
No, I don't think they're beating Buffalo.
Change your mind?
Did I say that?
You said they would be over the Bills for sure.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they would be over the Bills, to be honest.
With Homeboy coming back, Cinderella story? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't think the Chiefs. There's so many good teams in the AFC, bro.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I don't think it moves the needle enough for me. Just
100%.
to trade as much as they did, I think they overpaid a little bit. Especially that 65%, like that second round conditional pick.
Yeah.
I think that kind of swings it a lot more over into Green Bay's favor. If they didn't include that 65% condition, I think it would have been fine.
I agree.
But we'll find out because, again, it
Guess
all
so.
depends on how the Green Bay Packers manage their drafting.
Yep.
Because I assume at this point, this is a reset, the rebuilding, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say they're rebuilding for sure.
Because now they got rid of their franchise star. So
They do have another quarterback though already in set, Jordan Love.
how's he? Nice?
He's alright.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, just for reference, I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers played over like 90% of his snaps last year. So
I believe it.
that 65% is definitely happening. I give him like an 80%
Unless
chance.
he gets injured.
Well, I hope not. Shout out to A-Rod. Moving on from football, unless there's any other news that happened in the football world, which I don't think there was.
Just the draft, but
I didn't watch.
yeah.
Didn't even know. I don't know anybody in it. As far as fighting goes, which is my second favorite sport, Jake Paul and Nate Diaz may not actually be able to fight because Nate Diaz
What?
beat up some dude in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
And now there's a warrant out for his arrest. And so the legal battle could cause some issues with that. But
Damn.
KSI and Jake Paul agreed that if it doesn't happen, KSI will fight Jake, finally.
I didn't know that.
So I am happy either way, I think.
So if Jake and Nate doesn't happen, are we gonna bet on Jake and KSI?
I don't know, bro. That's a good question because who do you have? It depends.
KSI or
Jake
Jake?
Paul? I do too.
Well then never mind.
I don't think we're betting. Like, I think the story is there for KSI to win. Like, I think he wants it more, but I think Jake just has so much more experience at this point.
Yeah, me too.
And weight-wise,
I think he's just better.
can they match weight, bro? Well, I don't know, because KSI is, like, lean. Like, he's got a lot of muscle on him.
True.
I'm trying to avoid using sus words when talking about people's bodies. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Bro.
Got him. But I just think
Got
KSI versus
yourself.
Jake is the fight that everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
As far as influencer boxing goes, because that's been the one that they've been talking about for years. It's been just a back and forth, and he got smacked by fucking Logan twice, I would argue. Or he smacked Logan twice, I would argue. The first one was a draw, but he won, in my opinion. I think it'd be an alright fight.
I do too. I think it'll probably go like 6 or 8 rounds. Jake Paul as the winner.
What about
It'll
real
probably
boxing?
do like 5 rounds.
Is there anything coming up with real boxing?
Not really, bro. I mean, it was just like the Tank and Ryan. Everyone's now
They're-
waiting for the Earl Spence and the
When is
Bud
that?
Crawford. I mean, it hasn't even happened,
It's
signed yet.
Not even contract signed or anything. Negotiations?
It's just everyone wants that fight. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
But will it happen though? Because I know in boxing
I don't
a lot
know.
of
Everyone's
times,
kind of ducking and like. I
yeah,
don't
that's
know,
a big thing in
bro.
boxing because
kinda
now
gay.
it's a favorable matchup sport where you pick people you know you can
Sorry.
beat, so you can have an undefeated record. That's how promotion companies set you up.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with it, but I think at some point, like Trevante and Ryan did, you gotta You got to test yourself.
You gotta take it, bro. Yeah, it's big money either way, bro. Might as well just fucking,
There's nothing wrong with losing one, bro.
Challenge.
Tyson lost like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Or maybe more.
Ali lost.
Like Mayweather didn't, but that's because he did the whole.
Because he wasn't no bitch. I'm just kidding. He was kind of a bitch.
Mayweather picked the favorable matchups.
Yep.
That's what he did. And Mayweather's the GOAT, probably.
Yeah.
But I like old school boxing. Like, I want to beat the best guy. I want to fight the best guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
This is my weight class type shit. I want the belt. And maybe it's because I'm a basketball fan and that's like the competitive drive that I get from basketball. But if I was boxing, which I'm training, I don't think I would start boxing, but if I would be in there trying to fight the best people,
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be in there trying to win favorable
It's all about
matchups.
competition at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's a sport, bro, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to test yourself as much as you possibly can.
Oof.
So off of sports for a little bit, you said earlier that you're looking for a new job. And I'm curious as to what type of career paths that you would be looking into if you were to transition away from being a server.
I have no idea.
Because you've been in restaurant, other than canvassing, which we did together, door-to-door sales.
Awful.
You have been...
Food is just awful, bro.
It is.
I had some dude yell at me yesterday.
Because...
Huh?
A customer?
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
He was sitting down at his table for 10 minutes. And I was taking care of 2 tables, making sure they were getting their food because they were waiting for their food for a little bit. So they were kind of my priority over greeting that other table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I took their food over to them and shit. And then I took the shit back and set it down. And then I went over and greeted him. He was like, "You couldn't come over here earlier. And we've been sitting here for 15 minutes and you haven't even came over here once. You just missed out on a great tip. No, we out of here." I was like,
they left?
Bro, whatever. Yeah, they walked up and left. I was like, okay, cool. And then
that makes your job easier, bro.
Yeah, they just sat me down with another person, bro. It was cool.
Oh yeah. Easy money. Fuck that shit.
As far as different jobs, I really don't know, bro. I really don't know.
I'm on my call center shit, but I know you said you don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to work from home or what?
No, I do want to work from home.
You should, and I've said this 1,000 times on this podcast even, you should start streaming.
I know, but...
we could stream at the same time. And
you say that you're going to start streaming, but you never start streaming.
That's because my sleeping schedule had to be, go to bed early, which isn't a streaming schedule.
Yeah, that's true.
But now that my schedule is 2 to 11 for work, I'm going to be streaming probably, when I get off. Not every day, obviously, because I like to have a life to myself, but...
Yeah.
I'll
I honestly
do once
would
a
probably stream. If I streamed, I could probably stream every day for 6 hours.
Whoa. 6? Even Ludwig does
probably
5
easy.
or 4.
No, I could probably do 6 easy, bro.
All right, bro. I used to do 2.
And I don't know if that's just because of me not
I can't even play
streaming
that long.
before. I've never streamed before. But I be gaming, bro, a lot. Most of the time that I'm at home, I'm gaming.
How long do you typically game for?
A lot.
But
bro.
while you're gaming, do you also sit there and commentate on what you're doing?
Not just normally, but
that's what you have to do when you're streaming, though.
I know, but if I'm streaming, I could do that shit. I know I could do
I think you could. You just, what you're thinking in your head, you just say out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that streaming would be good for you. One, because it's something for you to work on, side hustle, hobby, whatever. And 2, just because I want to watch it.
Something that I'm kind of passionate about too.
As a fan, I want to watch it because 1, you're funny, you're a cool dude, whatever. That's obvious because you podcast and do all this shit. But
I'm also good at video games.
That's what I'm mainly saying. Is it would be good content to watch because you're good at things.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, I feel like the main part of me streaming, if I'm successful at it, it's going to be my personality. People are going to gravitate to me because I'm funny, and you have that too. But you're also good as fuck at games. So I think you have a better chance of being a streamer than I do.
Streaming definitely coming soon. Well, not soon. I don't want to say soon because it's going to be a little bit, but it's definitely going to happen for me, bro.
That's good. And also, bro, public apology, even though I've delivered them on my Twitter, but I know not everyone follows me on Twitter and shit.
I know, you've been slacking.
I have been slacking really hard, and I've been doing some behind the scenes stuff, and that doesn't mean much to people who don't see that, but behind the scenes, every single clip that you guys see on Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, whatever,
That is
every
all him.
picture, every thumbnail, everything.
That is
That's all me.
him. That is
Like
all him.
I'm still working, even if I'm not uploading a video. I'm still doing shit. This podcast is we haven't missed a week once.
Yeah.
But as far I've just
all of the editing, all of the
Yeah.
putting out, everything.
that's all me.
All goes to
So you
him.
don't ever question me working. I'm working. But
Yep.
as far as my YouTube videos, I have slacked a little bit, and I do have a reason for it. The past couple weeks that I've missed, just been going through some stuff personally. I'm not going to get into it, obviously, but I've been going through a couple of different things, and it's taken my mind away from working hard. That as well as starting a new job, so my schedule's been a little bit hectic, trying to figure everything out. But this most recent week, I recorded one of my most funny reaction videos ever.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the funniest. Like I made so many good jokes, bro. I was reacting to the Jubilee video, 6 gang members versus 1 fake.
That's funny.
And I made so many funny jokes about
Hell
so
yeah.
many people in that video. And then I go to edit it, and the audio's corrupted. It was fucked.
Damn.
Unsalvageable. I tried so many different things, nothing I could do. So
That's
this
annoying.
week, it's not on me. I could have recorded a second video. I was going to just make a second button video, shit it out for you guys,
Yeah,
but I didn't.
but
I don't
no.
want to do that.
Fuck that.
I don't want to be that type. I don't want to just shit out for consistency's sake. I want to make good content. So this
100%.
week I will be back. I guarantee it. I did say on my Twitter it won't just be a reaction video or a button video or a Reddit video, but it could end up being something like that. But it will be different regardless. Because I want to get back into things and I want to switch it up a little bit because I really do like making videos. I've just been going through some shit and it's been hard to do everything at once. But now my schedule is a little
busy,
bit more
bro.
ideal. I think I'll be all right now.
Hell yeah.
Got my 2 to 11 going so I can work in the morning, do my YouTube shit, and then go to work at 2, work till 11, get off, stream, play video
Chill.
games, chill, read. Been reading Kobe's book a little bit, which has
How's
honestly
that?
been helping with my mentality.
Hell yeah. Mamba
Yeah.
mentality, baby.
There's a lot to learn from it. Because
Oh,
like
yeah.
even though I'm not a hooper anymore, and like I'm training for boxing and working out, but that's not like my main focus. It's just a lot to like take from his mentality and apply to what I do in my day-to-day life.
Well, that's who you look up to. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And there's a couple other books. Once I finish this one that I'm going to buy, I'm going to buy Stephen A. Smith's book, Straight Shooter,
hell yeah.
and I'm going to buy Seth Rogen's book, Your Book,
Oh, yeah.
because both of those sound really interesting. I'm really into right now autobiographies by people I fuck with. I don't like fiction.
Not a big fan of fiction either.
When I was young, I loved the Hunger Games series. I read that, but I feel like if I'm going to watch fiction or if I'm going to do fiction, I'm going to watch
Yeah.
rather
I
than
agree.
read it. And if I'm
I
going to
agree.
like read, I want it to be informational for me.
I don't be reading, to be honest.
There's nothing wrong with that. I just started and I'm 21. And I may not even continue. Next week I could still be like not progressed into the Kobe book. I've only sat down and read it once, but I read
just-
like 30 some pages.
The problem with me is I just don't really comprehend the shit that I read. And it, honestly,
Your mind's in
that's a
another
big,
place, bro.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve for me, and I just hate it. So I just don't read.
You've probably heard this 1,000 times. And I'm going to say it to you again, shamelessly, but the reason that your mind is like that when you're reading and you can't focus on it is because you don't give a fuck about what you're reading.
Yep.
If you were to get something that you care about, I promise you would read it. Because
I
like when
agree.
you're on Twitter or Instagram or whatever and you see a caption that interests you,
I
you'll
sit
read
down and
through
read
that
it,
shit.
Yeah,
So it's the same thing.
yeah.
You just have to find something you're interested in. And I
I
mean, if
agree.
you want to, I can give you my Kobe book when I'm done with it and you can try reading it. Maybe that'd be something you'd be interested in.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's stories about NBA and shit, like his work ethic, how he did things. And
Yeah, I'll be done.
so if you want to read that, I can definitely give it to you when I'm done with it. Just to try, maybe. And it's, this sounds childish as fuck, but there's pictures, so it helps.
Okay, yeah, picture books.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
yeah.
There's
I love
pictures in
that
it.
shit.
And
Love
it's
to
like
see
cool
it.
pictures of Kobe and shit. So,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a message at the beginning written by Phil Jackson. And there's another one written by Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol,
Yeah.
nice.
I didn't read them. I just skipped straight to the Kobe shit, but I will
You'll get to it eventually.
at the end if I really want to.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to the Bean, man. I've been thinking about recently if he was still alive, how great of a podcast guest he would be. That's why I asked you that thing earlier. Like, do you think he'd be on the Full Send podcast if he was still alive?
Probably.
Probably. I just think how great of a guest he would be on any fucking
It'd be
podcast.
insane. Yeah,
He would have definitely gone on Joe Rogan too.
yeah.
Shout out to Cobes, man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. That's just super unfortunate. Such a great mind to have lost. Because like he could even be a coach. He could be doing television. He could be doing
He could have
anything.
literally been doing
Such an
anything.
intelligent guy.
100%.
And maybe, I mean, at least we have LeBron.
Yeah,
He'll be able to do all those same things.
facts.
But we could have had both.
Well, later on, yeah. All right, bro.
You good for the episode?
I'm good for the episode.
All right. I'm going to say it again. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like. If you are on Apple and Spotify, rate us 5 stars, leave a little review, tell us what you like about the podcast. Some of the episodes have polls. I'd be doing that. So if you're on Spotify and you go down below the episodes, sometimes, probably not this one, but there's a poll. So definitely vote in our polls, increase our engagement.
Share it, comment, like it, subscribe it.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
We on everything.
We everywhere, bro. Except Snapchat, but maybe.
Nah.
But I just don't see a reason.
Yeah.
But
Snapchat kind of weak.
Yeah, I fucking hate Snapchat. It's too personal.
Anyways,
That's why I got Twitter for.
I think it's the worst social media fucking platform.
Who said that, bro?
I did.
No, who said I don't got no Snapchat, homie. I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Who said that?
Lil Baby.
No.
Drake.
Give you one more.
Fucking
greatest artist of this generation.
What?
I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Instagram, I'll bag y'all. I flex on you haters. Yeah, there you go. All right. Close out with some Lil Uzi bars. Y'all have a good one. See y'all next Monday.